My most recent Jaka brick review was a very good adaptation of some comic minifigures, or it could be the animated versions. Either way, they both look the same. I don't have any Jaka Spider-Man minifigures, but I do have two different minifigures made in collaboration by them. Not designed, but printed by them. So I'm very excited today to actually look at one of their Spider-Man minifigures, being this Hobie or spiderpunk from Across the Spiderverse. So let's go ahead and check out the contents of the packaging and a look at the figure. Spiderpunk, being one of their more premium single figures, comes in their standard case. You can just slide the lid off and you get access to all the bags of all the parts. So you get the minifigure in one of the universe jumping wristbands, comes with a guitar with a bunch of cool printing on it, a second unmasked head, another punk themed teleporting sort of wristband thing, two stickers, one of which being some Nike shoes, the other one being Jango Fett, and like every other one of their figures, you get their cool collector card with that metallic silver on this one again, their logo on the back, right up about the company. You can find them on Instagram. All the parts on here should be official Lego parts other than the molds. There was some controversy with this figure though, where the person that they sourced the parts for might have included some fake Lego pieces, which would have affected the heads for this minifigure. I'll have to take a look while I'm reviewing it to see if I can notice any differences for that. I'm not 100% sure if every copy of this minifigure had that issue, but they are going to be reprinting them onto different parts to rectify that problem. Spiderpunk, at a first glance, I feel like this might be the most intricately detailed minifigure that I have in my collection now. Not even just because of what is printed on the minifigure, but what is printed also on the accessories. Just look at the guitar there, referencing and representing punk culture, where they're all about their band stickers and all that, all the different merch. One thing I know for sure is that this guitar is very fragile from what I heard printing-wise. You got to be careful when you're putting it in the hand of the minifigure. So I'll probably do it for the video and then never again because I don't want to damage it. But I just know something's off with Jaka's silver printing, where it'll get damaged super easily, so I gotta be careful with like the hair piece, I guess the horn piece I should say, and some of the other accessories we'll take a look at in a bit. But what a cool accessory. Just getting to the minifigure, both arms have very unique designs, where the only thing that is the same is, I guess, there's a little bit of blue at the top, this one has the tear in it, so really they are completely different. This one has like some blue wrapping around it, which kind of continues underneath the wristband there, which has some very nice stud design on it. And it's just really cool to see the small little dots that they can put on a figure like this. It's always really surprising. And the mask design for the animated version of the character is very cool, where it is very off-center, not, mirrored or any way. So that's very cool to see. Continuing the Lego figure here, featuring very cool 360 printing all the way around the head, which is always very appreciated. The spikes look great too. Those just end up kind of being like Yondu's fin, where it just goes around the stud, basically, like a hairpiece, but, not. Looks like no side torso printing here, which is fine, since it is just supposed to be that black vest. It doesn't make sense to have a ton of detail on the side anyway. But looking at the legs though, that's where the printing gets extra crazy, with his like suspenders or straps going around his body all the way to the back. And I do really like the transition from the front to the sides, where the angle just works perfectly. You also get like his boot sort of laces wrapping around the leg too. On the inside of the legs, same sort of thing with the continued detailing and varying levels of black on the bottom of the boot for that part of it. I guess another kind of cool detailing is the blue sort of crop top shirt, where it kind of is a bit more ripped on the back, so you can see some red peeking through where it is the bottom of that shirt on the back. I guess that would have been kind of nice to have continue on the side of the torso, since the red kind of shows towards the bottom there, but is what it is. And there's even some nice belt texturing at the top of the legs and the hip on the sides, continues to the front. So I say this about some figures, it ends up being one of those characters where you look at it for a long time, you pick out a bunch of new details every time, a ton of stuff to look at while you're taking a peek, and Just kind of blows you away that they are able to print so much. I can't imagine how many plates they had to do to get everything on here and how many different times they had to print each part. But top of their game is another head, so let's toss that on too. And with this look being very inspired by Jean-Michel, who was a punk artist in the 80s, so hairstyle is very similar to what his looked like, obviously very cartoonified, has a lot of piercings, again, punk culture, so that makes a lot of sense. And lots of little details on the head, you know, you got the different cheekbone, sort of eyebrow lines, and then also all the studs. So a couple different colors there where they got some silver, white on the eyes for the pupils. Good design there. And there is another print on the back of the head. Hairpiece is loose, which is always one of my worries with Jaka's hairpieces, where they end up being really tight and you just can't get them off. So glad to see that there. And I'll switch around the face print. And I would say I definitely prefer this look over the other one since he has the smirk. I feel like that just fits this character a lot better than the more stern look. But it's nice to have both options, obviously. And I kind of doubt I would ever have this minifigure displayed with the face and not the mask, since to me that is my preferred look for this, especially since, you know, Spider-Man minifigure. But it's always nice you have a couple options here for some more photos, and that's always appreciated. Let's throw on the two different time traveling or universe traveling wristbands and the guitar. And this is where the silver paint issues are definitely going to pop up. Like I already got a black chip on these and basically just put them on the minifigure and that's it. This green one is a very tight fit where you kind of have to stretch it to get over the arm. I don't like the feeling of that, especially when the arm is printed like on here. So probably won't ever use that one because of that. Silver ones are cool though. I threw two of these onto my Pyro minifigure for my Danger Room display for Brick World. That would just be a nice little gauntlet piece. So that has some use outside of the Spider-Man universe, I would say, for fig barfs and all that. Green one kind of looks like a nice watch design. It doesn't really scream like a weird futuristic device to me. So that's kind of fun and, again, fitting to the character, which makes sense why he would have that version of it. Those are all cool and everything. Let's check out the guitar too, which works just like a normal Lego guitar where the hand fits around the neck. But obviously, like I said, all the printing's on here, and Tracy and Jaka put out a warning that this part will get damaged. So never going to actually display it in the hands like this. Might take a picture quick for the thumbnail or whatever. But since the magnet is in the back of the torso, always going to have it on there. Whoops. And I guess I haven't pointed out yet, but the whatever spider logo there based off of Sex Pistols or whatever also looks great. Nice white printing on all the black, so stands out a little bit more. I'm sure some of the buttons are referencing Spider-Man or other punk bands, so lots of little Easter eggs. Almost forgot that one, but really love the printing on this minifigure. Let's go to some comparisons and the final verdict. After taking a look at this minifigure, I definitely say that the bar for custom Spider-Man minifigures has definitely gone up. It is really interesting to see companies go ahead and translate the animation style as well as some of those designs from the Spider-Verse movies, like Crosscheck did for the Peter B. Spider-Man minifigures, where they have the interesting line detailing, the maybe a bit off shaping, whether it is with spiderpunk and the sort of off-balance designs that he has, where it isn't symmetrical, especially in the mask design and some of the other ripped clothing parts for him. Mold accessories wise, of course, they went above and beyond. The guitar, perfect. That looks awesome. You get the extra head for him too, so you can have the unmasked version of him. I feel like that is actually a pretty standard feature for a lot of these custom Spider-Men now, is that you do get the civilian face, which I think that is kind of fun. You can throw together a separate minifigure with different parts if you want to. And of course, comparing him to some other Spider-Verse relevant minifigures, I think it is cool to see him with some more pretty much comic book minifigures, since the animated looks do have the same sort of design style as those comic books, especially nowadays when drawings are getting super hyper detailed and all that. And it's kind of crazy Lego hasn't done Spider-Punk at all yet, you know, since a lot of the time they'll do a figure that is sort of relevant to the movies, but not actually put out Spider-Verse sets. They have released quite a few different variants of Spider-Man from different comic books, whether it is Spider-Man 2099 or Spider-Ham. They've kind of gotten to everybody, but I guess Spider-Punk is a little out of their comfort zone, since some of those British punk bands are a little political and their lyrical content might not be the most appropriate for Lego, but glad to get this custom one here, especially at such a high quality as this one by Jaka Brick. And there are going to be more Spider-Verse reviews to come out. I still have to do Gwen as well as the Miles from the movie, so definitely keep an eye out for those. And if you want to see more custom Lego Spider-Man or custom Lego superhero videos overall, check out all the content on my channel. I have been Brick Radiop, and I'll see you in the next video.